Hey guys, it is Snatched SM, or Irene with Snatched SM. My brain is going haywire today. Back with another video for you guys. Today I'm going to do the 5 cons of being in the body sculpting industry. So our other video we did the 5 pros, this is 5 cons. Now this video is not to deter you in any way from starting your body sculpting business. Every single job, no matter where you work, has its pros and cons. These are just some I want to point out in case you didn't think of them. If you didn't catch our 5 pros video, I will link it down below, but let's get started. So 5 cons of being in this industry. The first one I would say is there's not as much free time as you think there will be. Now we really glamorize being self-employed. It's very like, oh, be your own boss, make your own schedule. You have all the time in the world, but you don't. Yes, it's a lot more flexible than if you were to work for a corporation. However, say you book your clients 3 weeks in advance and they pay their deposit. You can't kind of just wake up one day and decide you don't want to go to work because you have 5, 6 clients that day you have to show up for. So yes, it is a lot more freedom, but you still have obligations to your clients. Of course, if emergencies come up, that's a totally different subject. I've had to cancel, my clients, something came up, my babysitter canceled last minute, something like that. And as long as it's every now and then, your clients are usually really, really fluid and understanding because a lot of them are moms and have other lives as well. You just can't wake up one day and be like, oh, I feel like going to the beach. Let me just blow all my clients off. There is still a sense of obligation, still a sense of, oh, I have to show up even on the days that I don't want to. I'm really glowy today. This light is super bright, guys, and this is what we're doing. But anyway, that's one. So yes, there's a lot more free time. However, it's not just a whole free for all. You still have a schedule to maintain and be respectful for your client's time. So that is number 1. Now, number 2 is money. A con of being in the beauty industry is people don't understand your pricing. Somebody who has never been into the beauty industry before doesn't understand, why do you charge this much for a session, or why does she charge this much for hair? They don't understand the back end of it. And that's okay because they've never been in the beauty industry and they just genuinely don't know. So some people can be like, oh, like your services are pretty expensive. But that is, not true because you're only making a small profit after taxes are taken out and you put some money towards supplies and everything else you need to maintain your business, marketing, etc., etc. So clients not understanding your pricing or thinking you're too expensive is a con, and it does happen very often. The beauty industry has a stigma around it about being very expensive. Women pay tons of money to take care of themselves, and we do. However, there is a reason why every business owner prices it the way they do. The good thing about being a business owner is you are at liberty to price however you see fit. So yeah, that is a definite con. People just don't understand. They think you're super expensive, but they don't understand the logistics of it. So it's still a con. Now, the third thing I would say is a con of being in the beauty industry are the naysayers. Now, just like any job, you're going to have your fair share of naysayers, especially within the beauty industry or the body sculpting industry, to be specific. Body sculpting is still relatively new to the beauty industry. It is still misunderstood. On top of that, we do have quite a few body contouring people who advertise this incorrectly. They advertise it as a weight loss supplement. I see them posting the scale, book with me, lose 10 pounds. And that really frustrates me because that's not how this is supposed to be advertised. This is not what body sculpting is used for. It's not a weight loss treatment. It's not an It Works diet tea, nothing like that. It's an actual procedure that is supposed to run in conjunction with your diet and exercise. It is not a quick fix by any means. So the naysayers could be a combination of them just genuinely not knowing how it works, or seeing somebody advertise it incorrectly and they're just like, oh, that doesn't work. They're gonna lose 10 pounds by 10 sessions, a pound a session. That doesn't work. So like any industry, you're gonna have your naysayers. Body sculpting, again, because it's so new, there's not tons and tons and tons of information out there on it. You're going to have your fair share of naysayers or people commenting on your stuff. There's no way this works, or, just rude comments. It does happen to me. I do have people, I had someone comment on one of my YouTube videos recently, and they were like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't do that way. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, it's my technique. This is how I learned. This is how, the people that I've spoken to and my clients that are nurses and doctors and personal trainers say that it makes sense. This is how I was trained, so just like, good for you. Have a good day. So you're always going to have your fair share of naysayers, and that's okay. You just kind of have to turn away and don't let it affect you, unless of course it's just like a constructive criticism or something like that. But that is a third thing. Now, the fourth thing I would say is a con of being in the body sculpting industry is it puts a lot of pressure on you to have a perfect body. You represent your company. You're the face of your company. For example, for me, I do body sculpting for a living. I do this full time. This is how I pay my bills and feed my kids. This is my full-time job. I put everything into this. And I feel a lot of pressure to be perfect. I feel like people could be like, oh, well, she's, kind of thickums, like she's kind of chubby. Who is she to be doing body sculpting? Because your girl's not tiny. Your girl's got a butt. Your girl's got some boobs. Your girl's kind of thick. I'm not obese or anything by any means. But it's still, there's just a certain pressure to be perfect when you are doing body sculpting. So that is a con of being in this industry. There's still a stigma about any beauty industry service. You have to be this cookie cutter type of person, and when you're not, it shocks people. But do your best to stay true to you. Don't feel the need and the pressure to fit in any type of mold. You stay true to you, and that's what's going to drive more business to you. So the fifth thing is a con of being in this industry is other people stealing your work. So it does happen. If you're watching this, I recommend you watermarking all your photos. Some people do steal your work or post your work on their social media pages to say, oh, hey, look at my work, especially if they're just starting body contouring and don't have the before and afters to show yet. It's happened to me. It's happened to a couple girls I know. But then I got smart and I started watermarking my work. So girls can't just screenshot my stuff some halfway across the world and use it as their work. That is a huge con. It's a pretty big problem in the body sculpting industry. So get your butt on your app store and get some type of watermark app to where you can put your logo on there so people can't do that. So that's the fifth con of being in the body sculpting industry. Now, if you have any questions about the body sculpting industry, feel free to reach out, comment, subscribe, send this to your friends. If they are interested in getting in the body sculpting industry, I try to be super transparent. I'm very active on our social media platforms. If you have any questions, just reach out. Don't forget, we have our online Learn at Your Own Pace certification. It's like strictly online course. You don't have to see me. You don't have to see anybody. It's tons of slides, some videos, graphics, and then it's all done at your own pace. You have a quiz at the end, and then you can become a certified body sculptor. Keep in mind, though, it is the student's responsibility to look up their own legalities because every single state and every single county and city has different legalities. There's no way that little old me can possibly know all the legalities in every city. So check that out. And then we have that online course. I will link it down below. If not, I do Zoom courses. If you really want just like a one-on-one experience with me on the phone like this, walking you through it and certifying you that way, that's possible as well. I will link everything down below. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble. I hope I helped, and I hope you guys have a really good weekend.